To start by sharing with you the definition of pioneer. A pioneer, according to Webster's dictionary, is explained as a person who is among the first to explore or settle a new area. Today, I want to tell you about a particular pioneer in my life. And I know you might be thinking I'm not nearly old enough to be acquainted with an actual pioneer, but let me explain. It is true this pioneer never rode in a covered wagon or even started a fire, but she did her fair share of teaching about such things. She was a pioneer of a different sort. You see, this lady, a mother of 5, one day had had enough of her children's public school education. The edge. Being a family of 7, a family living on one income with a desire to frequent the original pizza shop at least once a week, it didn't leave much room in the budget for private school tuition. She mulled it over for a while. And one day, this lady, along with her sister, got a harebrained idea to teach their children themselves at home. Could this be done? How is this done? So, after much prayer and discussion, not to mention a week-long television fast, it was decided. The 3 girls would leave their elementary school and learn at home, with mom as their faithful teacher. Sorry. And dad serving as principal. The 2 older kids, 2 boys, one had already graduated, and the other one, she kept in his local high school to finish out his education because, well, sports. The year was 1991 when she brought her 3 girls home and started their private school, which they named Outreach Academy. That first year, she started teaching 7th grade, 5th grade, and 1st grade. So, this pioneer thing. When I say pioneer, I mean this lady was the one who received those actual huge curriculum catalogs in the mail and ordered from them. She had what? Maybe 3 to choose from. She got excited when those books arrived at the house, hoping that excitement would rub off on the girls. When I say pioneer, she kept those girls inside during normal school hours, most of the time, hardly ever venturing out to the library or store, as to avoid the stares and questions sure to come, such as, "Oh, is school out for you today? Are you sick today? Is that why you're not in school?" Now, when you say homeschool, that means your mom is an actual teacher, right? Like she went to college for this, right? What about friends? Do you have any friends? This lady was so much of a pioneer that she spent almost all her Sunday evenings making very detailed lesson plans for the coming week, because they weren't usually included in the curriculum back then. And she even made up her own quizzes and tests, handwriting them in cursive. Proof. Have I convinced you yet? She did this without enrichment centers, sports options, or community theater classes. The girls did simple things, joined the youth drama team at church, had school days with their cousins, studying together with the reward of playing board games once all their schoolwork was done for the day. They held small spelling bees with those cousins in their living room, 2 kids per grade. They I pretty much always lost. They read out loud together, played games for fun, especially Super Mario Brothers during their lunch break. There was the time Papa Toot taught a whole unit on the Civil War and then ended with Grandma Gussie making dinner while they all watched Gone with the Wind together, surrounded by the Civil War decorations they had made. She did all this without internet access in those first years, but did own a hardback dictionary and an actual set of encyclopedias. And yes, those encyclopedia books got used, aiding the girls articles in the research papers they wrote. There was the occasional field trip through JCPE, and slowly but surely, her homeschool community at church began to grow, which led to Christmas parties and more frequent field trips and the occasional co-op class with the pastor teaching. Well, if you haven't guessed by now, yes, the lady I speak of is my own mother. I am blessed to have been taught by her and spend the last 8 years of my education at home with her and my two sisters. There were many pros to this pioneer life of ours: sleeping in, school in my pajamas, learning anywhere, outside, the living room, the kitchen, my parents' bed. It enabled us to spend more time as a family since my dad had a job with quite a weird schedule. We went with him to the fitness center, or as we called it, the club, and got some good PE time in. Mom and my sisters and I would all work out to Galad together in the living room. Learning Spanish with my sister made it barely bearable. What would I have done without her? Probably failed. Really, the only negative I can think of is being at my dad's beck and call whenever he was at work and needed someone to water the lawn. That task almost always fell to me. So after all was said and done, my mom stayed with it till each girl graduated: 1996, 98, and 2002. My older sister graduated with JCPE, which we now know as MPE. The middle daughter, that would be me, opted for a big backyard bash, no surprise there, along with my cousin who was also graduating, and there may have been a wrestling skit involved. The youngest, she graduated through JCPE as well, decided she wanted to become a teacher. So she went to college year after year after year. Some of you know her. She didn't stop. Finally earning her doctorate, where she is now a professor teaching teachers how to teach. My mom's decision so many years ago had a ripple effect that continues to this day. Not only did she help to persuade many in her life to homeschool their children, but also when I started my own family 25 years ago, it came so naturally to me to teach them at home, which then in turn helped to influence some sisters-in-law of my own to do the same. And now my daughter is starting to teach her own son at home. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? I also lived in Ohio for 11 years, and many of my friends there decided to give homeschooling a try as well, due to some encouragement from me. I would tell them, if I can do it, surely you can do it. And that led to me building my own homeschool community there, with monthly gym days, field trips, roller skating days, Bible studies with the moms. You see, my mom affected the lives of people she may never meet, helping give children a Christian education. So, maybe not technically a pioneer, but I hope you get my point. Pioneers have to be very dedicated and determined because what they're doing isn't usually easy. And that's exactly what my mom was. And not only dedicated and determined, but she also found so much joy in having us at home with her. We were not a burden to her. As she was busy teaching her girls at home, she was helping to pave the way for what we as homeschooling mothers now enjoy. Our story, it's just one of many. There are numerous others who came before my mom, enabling her to do what she did, each of them pioneers in their own way. And we owe our thanks to so many of these pioneer men and women who came before us, having this novel idea to teach their children at home. Little did they know what important work they were doing. So I encourage you to stay strong in what the Lord is directing you to do. You may affect the lives of families you may never meet.